Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and come into a good cross-legged position, making sure that you are sitting level at the seat bones. So have a little wriggle about until there's levelness at the seat bones. Hold onto your knees and then elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, feeling that you bring space into the chest to fill the void with air. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. Feeling the chest expand in 3 dimensions with the in-breath. And relax in 3 dimensions with the out-breath. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. Lengthen consciously from your armpits into your elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just spend some time filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Prioritize the breath. Observe that as you inhale, you are bringing in energy to the body and the brain. So you're feeding the brain with energy so that the brain can observe and listen and oversee. With an exhalation, draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Lift the chest up to meet the chin, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area as you release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tips of the index fingers together with the tips of the thumb. And then raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation, and with the exhalation, turn to the right, maintaining that evenness of breath, using the in-breath to bring in energy, using the out-breath to power into the turn. Observe where there is resistance. Respect that resistance. And then observe within the body where there is little or no resistance. And observe how the perception of the initial resistance changes. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Dig the back hand into the floor, roll onto the front edge of the seat bones, draw the abdomen across. Again, just observe how the body responds to the pose. Whether there is resistance or freedom, most likely there is going to be a combination of both, probably principally freedom. Not necessarily, but probably. So divide your attention between resistance and freedom. Come back to the center. Come off your lift and come into baddangulyasana. So big toes together, knees apart. Just sitting back on your heels. Make sure that you're kind of in a straight line with your mat. Lift up into the chest and then come forwards. Keeping the chest lifted, keeping the heart area lifted, keeping the breath deep, keeping the seat bones in contact with your heels, keeping your arms extending. So the forearms should be off the floor. The heels of the hands on the floor, the forearms off the floor. Squeeze the outer elbows in. Press the hands into the floor and push back from the hands into the arms, into the shoulders, into the armpits, into the hips. Keeping the seat bones down on the heels if you possibly can. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Release your arms. Push yourself up into a seated position, just sitting back on your heels. And observe the energy in the chest as you lift up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears, just really opening up the hips. Draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest. Lift the chest up to make contact with the chin. And then raise the chin up to the ceiling, stretching the front of the neck. Pushing the chin to the ceiling. And then bring the chin down to meet the chest. Stretching out the back of the neck, keeping the shoulders down away from your ears. And then again, raising the chin up to the ceiling, pushing the chin to the ceiling, so almost like you've got an overbite. Lengthening out the front of the chin, the front of the neck. Pushing the chin to the ceiling to really stretch out the front of the neck. Bring the chin back down. And then bring the right ear down towards the right shoulder, but keeping the right shoulder away from your ears. Come back to the centre and then left ear over to the left shoulder, just feeling how that stretches out the right side of the neck, keeping the chest lifted, keeping the weight even on the seat bones. Feel how it even stretches down along the right arm. Come back to the centre and then just right ear across to the right shoulder, but you probably won't reach. But try anyway. Lengthening that left side of the neck. Come back to the centre and then left ear over towards the left shoulder. And then come back to the centre. Just lift the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, and then come up onto your knees. Have the little fingers on the edge of the mat, stretch the thumbs towards each other, turn your toes under, and come up into svanasana. Tighten your kneecaps. Press the fronts of the thighs into the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Press the tops of the thighs towards the backs of the thighs. Breathe even deep inhalations and exhalations and draw your attention inwards, identifying your balance of action. Lifting from the feet up into the hips. Are the arms working evenly? Are the legs working evenly? Is there even a tension between the legs and between the arms? So the two legs working like mirror images of each other, or is one working more willingly than the other? Spend a little time in the pose, observing and activating, observing and activating, so that you develop the sensitivity to feel the pose from the face to the feet. Step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. And then have blocks for your hands if you've got a bad back. Otherwise, we're going to do full uttanasana. If you've got a bad back, you can come forwards, finding the blocks. Make sure that the toes are in line with each other. Have the feet as wide apart as the mat. Feel the heels on the outside edge of the mat. Raise your arms up. Hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap the fingers around the outsides of the elbows, and then extend those elbows up to the ceiling. And then keep the head lifted, keep the back straight, keep the arms lifted as you come forward. So you come forwards with a straight back, and then hang down into uttanasana. If you've got resistance in your back, just use the blocks, go back to the blocks, do half uttanasana. Just observe the physical body from the inside. Observe the physical body from the inside. Lifting the legs out of the feet, almost like the legs, the shins can kind of almost levitate out of the ankle sockets. Shins lift up to the knees lift up to the thighs lift up into the hip socket. Okay, and then release your hands, just briefly come into half uttanasana. If you can't reach the floor or you don't have the blocks there, then bring your hands onto your shins. Okay, and then come up into a standing position, bending your knees on the way up if you need to. And then come up into Tadasana. Just be in the centre of your mat. And observe your Tadasana. Observe how your energy has changed. Observe if your energy feels even. Possibly not. So just observe it and use the breath to distribute your energy more evenly. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out and raise your arms over your head. Baddangulyasana. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Keep the kneecaps tight and tuck the tailbone in. Draw the belly button to the spine, the lower ribs to the spine, the heart area to the ceiling. The more you lift your body out of the feet, maybe the more the toes will lift, the more you bring your weight into your heels. So lift your toes if you're not lifting them in, but naturally. Squeeze the outer elbows in, wing the elbows beyond your ears. And then gently release the arms, swap the interlock of the fingers so that the other index finger is on the top of the stack, and then turn the palms outwards. Raise your arms over your head. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, turning the fronts of the legs inwards, tightening the kneecaps, hitting the shins back, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the abdomen to the spine, lifting the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone, the lower ribs to the spine, heart area to the ceiling. So lots of juxtapositions. Open up the armpits, turning them to face the sides of the room. Gathering the shoulder blades together to bring the armpits to the sides of the room. Breathe into the armpits. And then release your arms. Release your arms. Come back into Tadasana. Just again observing how you have opened up your energy. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Turn your left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. Again, facing the front, but turning the legs the opposite way to Tadasana, turning them from the inside out. And then come over, find the shin or the thigh or wherever you can reach. Not instantly reaching down towards the foot, giving yourself time before you try and get down. Draw the abdomen up to the ceiling, keep the legs really firm, tightened at the kneecaps, suck in energy from the feet like plants gaining nutrients from the earth through its roots, sucking it up into the feet, into the shins, into the knees, the thighs, the hips, the spine, the arms. Look down as your head directly over your foot. If it's not, then squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little. Push the back leg back, lift the chest until the head is over the foot. And then look up. Reach up, come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Again, turning those legs. Reaching up and over, find the shin. Look up. Feeling that the head is directly over the foot. Have a quick look down. If it's not over the foot, squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards, hit the back leg towards the wall behind you, and lift the chest so that the head is directly over the foot. And then look up. Suck in energy from the floor into the feet, into the shins, into the knees, the thighs, the hips, the spine. Stretching from the heart area into both arms evenly. The heart area up into the neck, into the head. And then come back to the centre. Bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together, come back into Tadasana. Just feeling the energy of the pose circulating around the physical body. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to do parsvottanasana. So you have some blocks on the right side of your mat. You might not need them, but it's always handy to have them there just in case you do. It's just because you didn't need them one day doesn't mean that you don't need them the next. So just have them there as a precaution. And lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step feet nice and wide. Turn the left toes in as steeply as you can, and then rotate like you're kind of doing an aeroplane over to the front leg. Now at this stage, bring your hands onto your hips and just observe where your hips are. They don't naturally kind of come together. So pick up that back heel and turn it all the way out. Turn that heel all the way out so that you can swing from the crease of the buttock across to the front of the hip, drawing this front hip forwards. Turn the legs in Tadasana, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, the backs of the thighs outwards. Just lift up into the chest. Just find your balance. Stretch the heel of that back foot away from the toes. Spread in the toes. And then come forwards and down. Reach down to the blocks or down to the floor, whichever allows you into this first stage of the pose. If your back is like this, if your hips are like this, then spend this time to adjust. Keep that. If the back hip is higher towards the ceiling than the front leg hip, then turn the front of the thigh inwards, turn the back of the thigh outwards so that the hips come level. And then extend into the chest. No rounded backs, no shoulders pushing outwards. Keep the shoulder blades drawing towards the front chest. So heels in line with each other. You can go a little bit wider if you lack balance. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Extend into the spine. Keep stretching the heel of that back foot away from the toes. Spreading the toes, stretching the heel away. Stretch the toes away from the heel in that front leg. So you really bring the feet to lie. So from here we're going to go into parivrtta trikonasana. Sorry, I forgot the words. Parivrtta trikonasana. So you might just want to stay here. Or you bring if you've got your hands on blocks, you can stay with blocks. Bring your left hand across to the little toe side of the foot. Again, you can use a block for that hand if you need it. Or bring it to the floor. So the little toe side of the foot. Keep stretching those feet. Bring the right hand into the small of the back and continue to extend the spine. And then turn the chest to the right side of the room. Keep that top shoulder rotating towards the left side of the room. And then if you can, reach up, keep the spine extended. Turning the abdomen across the thigh. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping that back heel lengthening from the toes. Keeping that back leg straight. Okay. And then come back to the center. Just bend the front leg, step forwards with that back leg. Pick up your blocks and come back into Tadasana, putting the blocks on the other side. Just feeling how your energy feels. Maybe the body doesn't feel entirely even. You can use your breath to distribute it, but we're going to do the other side so it's more likely to feel even. So just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Step nice and wide. Turn the right toes in, rotate on the other foot, and then helicopter yourself around. Pick up the heel of that back foot, turn it out so that your heels are in line. Turn the fronts of the legs so that the hips come level. Bring your hands onto your hips. Lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone. Just find your balance, straightening the legs, lengthening that back heel away from the toes, lengthening the toes away from the heel on the front foot. And then come forward, hinging at the hips, and then reach down, find the blocks or find the floor, whichever allows you to straighten the back. At this stage, if you've noticed that your feet aren't quite in the right place, then you can adjust. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping those thighs turning inwards, keeping the spine extending deeply away from the hips. Bring your right hand across to the outside of the left foot, bring your other hand into the small of the back. Extend the spine away from the hips and then turn the spine. Turn the chest to face the right side of the room and then reach over, or the left side of the room even. And then reach up if you can, or keep your hand on the hip. Turning the abdomen across the thigh. Good, and then just bring that top hand back down, come back into parsvottanasana, and then bend the front knee, step forwards, and then come up into tadasana. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling how you've brought lightness into the physical body. Observe as we do these poses how every muscle of the body is activated. Which is why even people who go to the gym every day, who kind of spend all their time lifting weights, when they do yoga, they realise how taxing it is. How it activates every muscle. So it's holistic rather than focused in the way that it is when you walk around the gym and people are doing leg days or arms days. It's the holistic approach. You're using your own body weight as the weight. Come down onto your knees. Just sit back on your heels for a moment. And lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. And then come up onto your knees, have your hands shoulder width apart. Turn your toes under, step back a little if you need to, and come up with the feet hip width apart, come up into dog down. Just feel how your dog down feels different to how you did it at the beginning. Maybe there's an innate lightness in the limbs. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's worse. Whichever it is, observe it. Try to activate every muscle. So one of the other reasons why yoga is so good for us is because it does employ every muscle, even if we don't know it's there. It employs every muscle, gets the lymph fluid circulating around the body, benefiting the immune system immensely. So of course, people who do yoga, we still get ill, still catch colds and all that kind of stuff, but often you might find that recovery is a little easier. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, keeping that sensation of full body activation. Observing where there is resistance, where there is dullness of action, and activating accordingly. Keep filling the lungs with deep breaths, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Consciously stretch the heels away from the toes and feel how the shins activate. Keep the shins lifting. Keep the heels stretching away from the toes and bring the heels down a little lower without allowing creases to appear between the shins and the feet. Keep the heels down, but keep the shins activated. Keep the shins lifting. Keep the legs lifting as you bring your heels down to the floor. Try and do that without allowing those creases to appear. Okay, come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels for a moment, just observing your energy, just listening to the breath, observing how you've woken up the body from the toes to the tips of the hair on the head. Come forward and then stretch forward into Adho Mukha baddangulyasana, stretching the body away. As you come into Adho Mukha Virasana, keep every muscle engaged. That doesn't mean you have to kind of forcefully press it into action, although sometimes we do need to apply some encouragement, but just extend the arms, keep the arms straight, keep the seat bones down on the heels, keep the head rested on the floor or on a block. Breathe into the skin. Okay, release your hands, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and then just sit yourself up, sit back on your heels. Observe how the chest feels full of crystal clear, clean energy. Come down onto your back and into supta baddangulyasana. Come to supta baddangulyasana and just guide yourself down. Just let the legs fall apart. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks on the outsides of the thighs. Just rest your hands on your lower ribs. So the initial observation is whether you are level, whether the knees are level, whether you can feel that one knee is higher than the other. Have a quick look. So often we activate this deeply. I want you to actively relax into this pose. Almost like you allow the body to become heavy. So feel that there are no imbalances and adjust them if there are. And allow the body to let go of extension. Allowing the body to just really consciously release into the floor. Releasing into the ground. Just focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Long, slow, deep inhalations and exhalations. Letting the body release into the floor. So just as you were focused on extension before, focus on relaxation. And then gently bring your knees together. Bring your knees together and the feet apart. Just resting into the ground. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. Just feeling the energy just innately radiating from the bones. Let the straighten out the top leg, come back into a seated position, just come into cross legs. Come into cross legs, holding onto the knees and consciously elevating the heart area up to the ceiling. Keeping the shoulders down away from your ears, listening to the breath. So draw yourself back into that framework of conscious extension, elevating the heart area to the ceiling, using that energy that you have just released through quiet and in the action. Bring that back into the physical action of extension, but without overdoing it, without gripping, without over activating. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. And again, just acknowledging any resistance, respecting that resistance. So respecting resistance rather than feeling frustrated by it. Treat it with reverence. Draw the abdomen across the ribs, across the shoulders, across, drawing the breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Divide your attention between resistance and freedom. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest. And then turn to the left, observing how perhaps that resistance feels different, perhaps it feels the same. And then gently come back to the center. Lift up into the chest, draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Just elevate the heart area upwards, just observing the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. And then get a blanket, a folded blanket for your head. And then just align yourself along the centre of your mat. If you've got a bolster handy, you can have the bolster on top of your legs, because we've worked hard in the legs, and this just helps you to quieten the action of the legs. Have the bolster underneath the back of your neck. And then allow yourself to release into the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. allowing the body to completely release into the floor, just letting the body consciously relax, letting the muscles release from the bones, and again observing that innate energy that radiates from the bones and into the muscles. Radiate from the bones into the muscles and into the organs. Into the organs and into the flesh and the skin, which of course are also organs. Using your breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness evenly throughout the physical body, down into the toes and into the fingertips, and up into the top of the head. So the body is glowing with physical energy. Glowing with the positive energy of the universe that we have ingested through the breath and pushed into the blood and into every organ. We've circulated the lymphatic fluid around the physical body and brought quietness to the brain through focus on the breath. Okay, release the toes, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bringing yourself back into shavasana, into the room, and then remove the bolster, pull your knees in towards your chest, have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side, stay down for a breath or two, just feeling that energy glowing from the bones and into the muscles and the organs and the flesh and the skin. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Come into cross legs with the hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside, drawing the breath in through the nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released and send some of that positive energy out into the world. ready, raise your head, bring your hand back down onto the knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really brought the energy into the skin, lengthened into the body, and just brought good positive energy into your day. So thank you very much for joining.